All right, the watch list for Wednesday, April 8th is what it'll be. All right, the watch list for April 8th. I'm watching this QRVO, which was super strong just a couple weeks ago. Nice support at 72. Look at the bounces here, 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 and now it's down. It's down almost $10 in a week. So I really want to watch this if it gets down around 72 for an intraday bounce play. All right, that is QRVO TXMD. Put in a green candle today, nice relative strength, especially compared to, relative strength actually implies compared to the market. So just have this on long watch. A couple little bottoming tails through the 8-day moving average, up over this 2-day high. This one might get going up over 645-ish, something like that. That is TXMD. GBSN just goes back on bounce watch. Kind of closed right in the middle of its range today. I want to watch this for a potential bounce tomorrow. That's GBSN. RADA, called a trade in this one today, had a nice percentage gain, and it held up pretty well. So I want to watch this maybe for a continuation of this bounce on Wednesday. GENE, a lot of these were already on watch. GENE goes back on watch. I was on bounce watch coming into today. No trades, no setups, but it'll go back on bounce watch tomorrow. I like this 20 million share pop here. Actually, if you add the 2 days together, over 30 million shares in 2 days. That took it up to 574, and now you're like 5 days lower, and kind of a narrow range today. So this one looks ready to bounce. That's GENE. SYRX, a very thin stock. Some days this thing, wow, I just saw a 4,000 share day. So anyway, this is a really quiet, low volume stock, but 12 million shares today. I don't want to ignore that, so I want to watch this one. See if it can't get some intraday long setup for tomorrow. And I only trade that with a proper setup. BIOC. This is really quiet. Just 1.1 million shares today, but you can see it bounced back here about a week ago. Went up to around, over the 2-day bounce here, went up to around 238, 239. Then today is right back up to that area. So up over 240. You can see this one made a huge move back here all the way up to almost $5. Seems to have found support. So this one, let's look at it on 15-minute candles. Let's go to 60s. I mean, you can see it here. Very nice support now, and it looks good over this 240 area. Not in love with it. It's one of those kind of obscure, hey, maybe this will work type entries, but it is kind of interesting. Herbalife, HLF. I'm not in love with this one, but it had such a huge move back here, and then it's been consolidating for a week or so. Gap down yesterday, and then kind of up the whole day, and then strong again today, relatively speaking. 44.24 was today's high. You do have the 200-day right there. This high back here was 44.74. Very strong yesterday and today. So I don't really have a trigger price for you. I just like the strength in it. I like the fact this can move pretty big at times, and it's consolidating here. So maybe up over I hate to give a price over the 44.30 area maybe. This one might get going. So I'm not going to call that a trigger price because I don't know how it's going to open tomorrow or how the market's going to open. But it's definitely worth a look. All right, it's definitely worth it. It doesn't cost me anything. I like to say, it doesn't cost me anything to have it on a chart. WBAI, big day, big volume, over 10 million shares. Kind of closed, a little bit above the middle of its range, I think, for the day. So I want to watch this one for a continuation of this move tomorrow. All right, that is WBAI, and then BIND. 5.4 million shares. I traded this as a gap play this morning and made a few $100, and then it just could never really get going. But it's just in a range. Pretty interesting chart, though. I mean, this thing ran, and it literally, that's not an errant ticket, literally ran to 10 that day. We got that as a gap play that day. Had a pretty nice trade in it. Then you had lower high, lower high, lower high, and then yesterday it gapped up and closed near its lows. Then today gapped up over that whole day and really gapped up, and it's still trading, above like a month's worth of trading. So I still think this one's interesting to watch for maybe a long trade tomorrow. And then JMEI seems to have found support here and trying to curl up. Had a nice spike today, but I think the market kind of brought it back down. See the spike right here? There it is on 15-minute candles. So this does look good, especially if it can get up over today's high. The market was weak at the close there, so I mean a lot of things sold off. This one looks pretty interesting up over the 1640 area. Quick look at the SPY. You can see how the SPY closed. That's 15-minute candles. So that brought pretty much everything down. So that's the short list of stuff I'm going to be watching, and we'll find some gappers in the morning to trade as well. All right, I'll leave it at that, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow.